Okay, we are back with Terry Tillaart, who is joining us right up the road from me here in Cape Coral, Florida, on the West Coast, and he is in Sarasota. And I have to say, I'm really excited because Terry comes from a background of naturopathic and Chinese medicine practitioner, and he has spoken many times at multiple events, attracting actually libertarians, cryptocurrency enthusiasts, and others who want to create a stateless society, which is awesome, and many other freedom-oriented seminars. So with that, he is a lover of animals, which I am too, and he will go out and about anything that he can do to make their lives easier. And he is proud to have been banned virtually from all social media channels. We've talked about that. So I'm about to take that path as well. And his passion is really helping people live truly independent, self-sufficient lives by teaching people to fully step outside of the matrix. So welcome back to the Holistic True Wealth Show, Terry. It's really great to see you again here.
Thanks so much for having me, Jeff. Awesome to be here. Yeah, it's really great to help people set themselves free. And we feel like we've got the move of the century in our hands, and we just want to share the message with people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you, and it's very, very exciting because today we're in front of a paradigm shift like none other than before, and it's about getting the information out there for people who have been kind of pushed into the dark and pushed into being afraid, and we're here to take that pressure off of them and educate them because there's so many opportunities out there. So before we start with the questions, just share a little bit with our viewers who Terry is outside of business.
I'm just a fun-loving guy. I want the world to be a better place. I try and do everything that I can within my control to, lead by example, try and make the world a better place, taking care of the furry friends, all that good stuff,
Yeah, absolutely. So great. And I love the furry friends. We have two of them here as well. So we're here to really talk about something very, very special today, to educate the consumer about digital software ownership. And I was just made aware of this a couple months ago, and I'm really excited to bring Terry on board to bring some insight into this. So today, most people are really purchasing digital currency with US dollars. They're getting, a couple coins here and there, or they're, swapping and they're buying with other currencies that they've purchased in the past. So can you explain what's different and the basic concept that is behind digital software ownership, as you state in your very first conversations with people about making money in your sleep, that fairy tale, or no, the tooth fairy wake up call with the money under the pillow?
I like to use different metaphors to help people get it quick, right? But it really is like a tooth fairy thing. And, people look at Bitcoin and some people say, what's this Bitcoin thing about? I only like real money. You only like piece of paper with dead criminals that can be printed in unlimited quantities owned by one small group of people. Like, what? Cash is king. I really struggle with that because it's supporting the very enslavement system that we've all been brought up in. But a lot of people also say, well, listen, if I go buy Bitcoin, I've got to trade against BlackRock. And you'd be correct. That's a daunting task. And I don't think anyone wins that game consistently over time. You're going to get some wins, but you're not going to win consistently. The big play, as I've been a student of crypto for a long time, speaking at a lot of conferences, I've learned that owning the infrastructure is the big play. It's the play of the century. In fact, if I probe AI to try and give me something better, it says you're not looking at one of the best things you could be doing. You're looking at the single best thing, and AI can't come up with a single thing that contends with it, right?
Right.
We've all scanned the credit card, right? You tap the thing, circle goes like this. What it's doing during that process is called validating the transaction. It sends a signal off to the bank. It says, is Jeff in Interpol this week? No. Does he have any money? Do we have any money? Do we like him? Is he in the city we think he's in, et cetera, et cetera? And they send the transaction back and it goes, approved. Everyone's been through that process. Visa and MasterCard had a monopoly on that damn thing for so many decades.
Yeah.
Not hard to imagine they made billions of dollars doing it. But in crypto, they don't have a monopoly. You and I, people like you and I, can be people who validate transactions. And now that comes in many forms. It's got different names. It's validating,
Sure.
delegating, mining. Everyone's heard of Bitcoin mining. No one knows what it is. In simple terms, it is validating the transaction. That's what we do. And just like Visa and MasterCard, there are fees and rewards for validating the transactions. Everyone who's ever used ETH before has paid gas fees, the dreaded gas fees,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They got to go to somebody, right? And so, like I always say, like I've been driving over toll booths my whole life in one form or another. I've always wanted to be the toll booth operator. Today, I'm happy to say I am that guy. I'm that guy. But more importantly, for those listening, is I help my friends and family. And I've got a lot of friends who are now that guy or that gal. And I'm teaching them how they can be digital toll booth operators.
I'm a toll booth operator.
It's the most exciting thing ever. It's,
It is.
you literally wake up with that tooth fairy, you reach under the pillow like, oh, she came again last night. How fantastic. And every night I go to bed, I wake up in the morning with more money than I had yesterday. Fantastic.
Absolutely. And those toll booth operators are all basically sold out with Bitcoin because there are no more toll booths. But there are. So let me ask you this. Is this the only toll booth project that's out there to your knowledge today, or are there other projects that are offering this as well?
There are others, but it's not like it's an opportunity in abundance, right? Because if you are with the Binance chain or Solana chain, I mean, the people who validate transactions over there have made hundreds of millions of dollars, obscene amounts of money that you can't calculate. But I didn't get the invite. They didn't call me to do that. So we seek out small community-driven projects in the cryptocurrency space, and there are some, but not a lot. They're not in abundance. But in those projects, you and I can own a piece of the infrastructure, and it pays very well to do so. And so, that's one of the things that I kind of specialize in, with air quotes, is seeking out those opportunities where we can go and own some of that infrastructure and be toll booth operators. I feel like toll booth Willie or whatever you want to call them, right? But it's life is good. It's like I've done the trading thing. I've owned many different crypto projects and own the coins and the trading, and you're waiting for it to go up or down in the bear market and the bull market. And I don't worry about that. I still seek out value. I still seek out projects that could be potentially the next Netflix that overcomes the blockbuster. But in the meantime, I just focus on things that print. And so being a toll booth operator, owning the infrastructure is just amazing.
Absolutely. Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. So the secret to money is buying cash flow producing assets. And this is key to true wealth, which has been really stated by well-known entrepreneurs like Grant Cardone, Robert Kiyosaki, to list a few. So what excited me about this project was hearing a training about, can you really retire with 9K today? Potentially. Yes, absolutely. Can you share the details about this concept that you guys are presenting?
The concept's simple, right? And what I'm trying to do is plant a seed in someone's mind to imagine themselves somewhere. Art Jonak said, listen, if you understood residual income, you'd run through brick walls to get it. Warren Buffett said, if you don't figure out how to make money in your sleep, you're going to work the rest of your life. When I work, I get allergies. I even sweat and everything. And so I'm trying to escape that world and knowing that there's these opportunities. So when I say that when I present the idea about could 9K retire you, it's not a hard and fast rule. It's not guaranteed. I'm not a quote unquote financial advisor. It's not legal advice, but you might want to look into it, right? Because, let's just round off the number to 10. If you have 10, you have 10 toll booths. If you have 10 toll booths out there, and you were operating 10 toll booths, well, maybe today in the infancy of a project, in its early days, they might generate you somewhere in the neighborhood of $5 a day. Let's just use some conservative numbers, right?
Sure.
But founders and other toll booth experts believe that maybe someday those toll booths could become $100 a day. And so whatever that number is for you, and it's different for everyone, no matter what country you live in, wherever you live, I just start doing math in my head and saying, okay, let's be conservative. What if it's $10 a day? What if it's 20? 20 doesn't sound crazy, hearing that it could be 100.
Right.
And at $20 a day, I start to say to myself, oh, okay, how many toll booths would I like to own if they were earning me $20 per day? At quarter, 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 quarter. They're all in my pocket. That's fantastic.
Right.
How many would I need to set me free? Right, to cover all the bills, cover all the expenses in life, and give me a good quality lifestyle. And then I start to let the mind imagine. But I tell people, hey, listen, it could be different for you, could be different for me. I can't predict the future, but I pick a number 20. 20 is, 80% left on the table from that 100 number, right? It doesn't seem like a number in my mind. It seems very reasonable. And for most people, when you start to approach that $200 a day number, you start to feel really free. And, and we can vary that a little, but I start to feel very free.
Yeah, and for many, even 100, So, but that's very, very exciting, because when you sit down and look at the numbers, you've got X number of toll booths. If they produce even just $5 a day, 5 times, 11 toll booths times 30 days times 12 months, it's like cha-ching. And then
it's not insignificant.
What?
It's not insignificant at all, right?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. So one of the other things that really piqued my interest, and I'm still learning about this, this specific year, in regards to the mining period for 123 years. So how is this determined, and does this really look like, and the potential possibilities for those getting in on the ground floor? And of course, before you answer that, I know, just for our audience, that, we have to realize that there are no guarantees, okay? Just like there are with traditional investments, anything that you do, whether it's, medicine or finance and so forth and so on. It's about learning what the potential is. And that's what we did. We did that when we created our 401k. So go ahead.
It's like, when I drive to St. Petersburg, Florida, that's a easy reference for you and I. When I drive over there, if I'm the toll booth owner, well, I can't guarantee that bridge will be there forever. I can't guarantee will always be a toll booth, but for the foreseeable future, within reason, for a long extended period of time, I'm willing to wager very hard that is going to remain a bridge. There's going to be a toll booth, and I'm going to be the owner of it. I can predict that out into the future. And so me building the infrastructure once, right, allows me to benefit for long extended periods of time. And that's a very reasonable assumption. And so the idea that we're just going to cut off other parts of Florida to getting to St. Pete's is highly unreasonable. It's very, very unlikely that changes. And so there'll be things that change in the blockchain space. There will be things that change over time. It's not that the future is guaranteed, but it's a set it and forget it thing. It's an infrastructure play, right? And so I love those infrastructure plays, And so I'm a collector of toll booths, and that's what I'm encouraging people to do. It doesn't really matter what the brand is. It doesn't really matter what shape or size or who manufactured it or what color it's in, or you stop caring about those details once you become a collector of toll booths, right? What you need to do is find someone who's a mentor, who's vetted the reasonableness of a few different ones, and you grab a hold of it and decide what makes sense for you, right? I'm not here to prescribe that my way is the only way, but I challenge anyone to do the math and find me something better where the math does better mathing, and I can't find it.
That's awesome. So we're coming up to half point here. We're going to take a very short commercial break, and we'll be right back with Terry Tillaart.
Texas is the future of money in Texas. Texas is a fast, layer 1 digital currency designed for generations of honest trade. In many ways, Texas is like Bitcoin. It uses blockchain technology, the decentralized public ledger, to record transactions. Texas makes it easy for anyone to participate in the digital economy. Like Bitcoin, Texas can be traded for other cryptocurrencies or cash. But unlike Bitcoin and other leading cryptos, Texas can only be digitally mined in Texas. Join us as we build the world's largest decentralized cryptocurrency mine. Put control of crypto back in the hands of individuals and away from mega corporations, banks, and foreign nations. With Texas Coin, we can leave the world a better place for our children and future generations.
Okay, we are back from commercial break. And so next question here is my understanding that there, as I said earlier, there are no Bitcoin mining spots available. So how is mining this specific coin different from anything else that is out there? Because most people, um, they know that coins are mined, but today most people are purchasing cryptocurrency, but they're not mining it. So what's the advantage of doing both?
You you could theoretically be a Bitcoin miner, but you would be literally competing with BlackRock.
Right.
It's not a profitable exercise anymore, right?
Yeah.
And while I would love to be a validator on the Solana blockchain or the Binance Smart Chain and these kinds of things, those are reserved mostly by venture capitalists, vulture
Sure.
capitalists, we like to call them. And you and I don't get an invite. And
Right.
so the most important thing to do is find one that's profitable, find one that you're invited to participate in, and recognize that these are limited time windows of opportunity. They're limited. You've got to
Yeah.
jump through that wormhole when the opportunity presents itself. You don't sit on your feet, sit on your hands and twiddle your thumbs and hum and haw about it and say, oh, in
Yeah.
a few years now, I'll check it out and see how that works out. Those windows will be gone, right? No
Sure.
blockchain has an unlimited amount of need for people who validate transactions. There's a time window. They need a finite number. You and I could jump through that time window or we don't, but there's a time portal here and we shoot on through and we become literally owners of the infrastructure going forward in time. And it's just an incredible place to be. I find it astounding. Sometimes I pinch myself and I say, oh my God. Let me tell you, when I check under that pillow, the tooth fairy gets me very excited in the morning.
No, I'm really excited because I never even thought about the possibility of being an owner in this situation, about owning the software that actually creates this digital currency, if you will. So it opens up Pandora's box to so many things outside and above that's the traditional that's out there. So which is very, very exciting. And it's all about diversification, portfolio diversification. So, one of the other things that really intrigued me with this is that this specific unique project, it's really started in a specific state with deliverables, and that are actually being met and bringing it to the masses from not only ownership, but using the coin as a form of payment for business ownerships and business entities in the specific state that really share a vision with the company and with the um, with the state entrepreneurs that are out there. So share a little bit behind that concept of bringing it to the commercial establishments in the state, and what are the benefits for them?
There's got to be a quote unquote proverbial million cryptocurrencies, and obviously they're not going to make it. But there's a word in there that people stop thinking about or talking about, and it's currency, right?
Right,
The
currency.
idea that we're just going to trade dead pieces of paper with dead criminals on it forever is
Yeah.
insane. That's just it's insane. We live in a digital world. It's far easier. We can be in custody. We can have pseudonymity. We can transact with the scan of a QR code, press the button, it's instantaneously there. It's more transportable across borders. It's multinational. It's all these things, right? And then the opening line of the Bitcoin white paper was digital peer-to-peer currency. And the whole world has forgot about that little part, right? We now refer to Bitcoin as digital gold. Right. And
Right.
almost no one in crypto is trying to satisfy that currency element. Now, there's many of them that will satisfy their own niches. I don't think there's one winner that takes all.
Sure.
I think there's a series of winners who all carve out their own niches, but very few are competing in that currency space. And this particular project is just trying to be the currency. Well, if you want to have a currency that's widely regarded, one, you need a market value. Two, you need massive brand awareness. So you need a lot of brand awareness within a geographic region, so everyone realizes that it's kind of interchangeable, and that if I accept it at my pizza shop, I can bring it to your dentist office, and they will
Sure.
still accept it and say, hey, you know what? I can use that to hire my roofing guy. He will definitely accept it as well. And you start to create that reciprocal nature within a geographic region. And now you get the potential for a currency. And in this particular case, you've got the downtown business associations for the entire state who've all agreed that they want to use this thing, right? It makes great sense. So they want to use this particular thing. There's a pilot project that's underway. And as long as it goes smooth, why have downtown digital dollars that are based on paper when you can have digital versions of it? And if an entire state adopts it, here's the great news. You can copy and paste that model and take it elsewhere. And community currencies win. There have been many, many, many studies on community currencies. And whenever they happen, they work because Visa, MasterCard, Costco, all these multinationals are exfiltrating value out of those local communities constantly with every swipe of the damn card. But if you keep all the value in the town, now all of a sudden there's a lot more velocity of money. But also those fees that used to be there, the sending it to spend at Costco, all of that's gone. The money stays in the community. The states that adopt this kind of model are going to have an economic boom, and it's going to become very tempting, I think, for it to replicate and ripple out. And so very excited about that. I think the future is very bright, and there's a lot of very tangible inroads being made that you and I can measure.
No, absolutely correct. And when you say that it's a cookie cutter model here, and you go from this state where it started to the next state, and then to the next state, and to the next state. And what I love the most is my state is second. So awesome. that's the projection, I'll say, the wish, watching some getting informed from the CEO. So that was like, wow, this is awesome. So, but no, you're right. It's being tested, proven a proven business model for everybody, and when it works, then we move that community to the next, to the next, to the next, to the next. So, we're coming up at the end here. In what is one thing, one nugget, one inspiration that you could share with the viewers that are watching us today, who are looking to level up in their lives, personally, professionally, or both? What would that be?
It's the unspoken thing, and we all kind of know it. We grew up in a world of slavery, right? Like I saw this thing the other day. I said the world is in $230 trillion of debt. And the question becomes, to who? To who? There's not even that much currency in circulation. And this idea that we have to grind hard 9 to 5 just to exist is not the only option. I freed myself from slavery. I freed a lot of my friends from slavery, and I want to free you from slavery also. And that's done by what Warren Buffett described as, you've got to figure out how to make money in your sleep, or you will be working the rest of your life. But you don't have to. And you don't have to trade against BlackRock, and you don't have to speculate and assume massive risk, right? In this world, you're about 120 days from being risk-free, which is unheard of. And you have the ability to set yourself free, and it's uncanny. And it's from a genuine, honest business model, but it's from you and I owning infrastructure. And that's just very few opportunities, time windows in this world where you and I get to do it. So I encourage anyone watching this, jump through that time portal.
No, that's an awesome nugget. And you talk about 120 days. And for those that don't understand that, reach out to me, because I'll let you know, because that's what really, really excited. Well, many things excited me about this project. But so with that being said, I want to thank Terry Tillaart for coming on again and sharing his wisdom. He is a blockchain naturopath. So it's about getting out of the corrupt and broken systems that we're in, and we come over to the other side of blockchain technology, which is outside of that whole corrupt system that's out there. And not saying that blockchain hasn't been attempted to be hit by corruption, so forth and so on. It's all over the place, but there is a lot more security with this this paradigm shift that is changing the world right now, and it's going to change the world significantly over the next 3 to 5 to 10 years. So again, Terry, thanks so much for coming on board, and I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks, everybody. See you next time.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
You thought I was playing?